Neiman, I know it's been kind of a frustrating run lately in terms of results, right? I mean, fighting the absolute best in the world, but not getting the results you want. What's it been like for you kind of mentally to get through this stretch?
Things are not going as planned, but when they don't go as planned, we gotta make them work. So I'm here to turn the tables and get back to in line, you know. So the best thing in life is to overcome bad situations, you know, and that's what I live for. And I'm happy to be here in this situation, and I'm happy to overcome it and be a better fighter.
Nice. What do you do in terms of evaluating? Like, do you think like, what am I doing wrong, or what do I need to change, or is it my approach in there? Like, how do you figure out what it is to fix?
There is a lot of things, you know, like, of course you evaluate what you're doing wrong, but you also try to evaluate how you're doing mentally. You try to evaluate how you do it physically, of course. It's three aspects: the mental aspect, the physical aspect, and the fighting itself, you know. So those three things gotta be in line for you to be winning fights. I've been there before. I won 9 fights straight, and I plan to do the same again, you know.
Nice. So you start getting everything ready and adjusted, and you've got all those things evaluated, and then your opponent changes a few weeks out, right? Yeah, was there any hesitation to say yes or frustration with that?
No, to tell you the truth, I was training, and then I received the message saying, hey, you're fighting this guy now, so I don't choose anything, you know. The message just said, oh, the other guy got hurt, now you're fighting this guy. I said, okay. It doesn't change much, because in these days, some of the fighters, they are very similar, you know. They all know some jiu-jitsu, some wrestling, and some striking. But they are not very good at anything. A couple of them are, you know. I see some of them there, the champions. You see, they are specialists. So the specialists, in my opinion, are the most hard to deal with. And I am a specialist, and I believe that if I can put my game in the fight, I believe I am one of the best in the world in doing what I do. That's why you see so many people avoiding me to do what I like to do, because I know if I can get the fight there, I am one of the best, if not the best in the world at what I do, you know.
I like that you called yourself a specialist, because there seemed to be this discussion that like, oh, the family's getting more well-rounded now. You know, now they know maybe it's almost better to not be well-rounded and to remain a specialist?
No, you can be well-rounded, but you cannot forget what you're good at, I think, you know. So you should know everything. It's better to know everything and don't need it than to need something and don't know how to do it, you know. So I think that's the thing.
Nice. Last thing for me, seems like you want to start out the 9-fight win streak this weekend. What's the plan for this year? I mean, do you want to fight frequently? Is it, you know, just a couple? Like, what's the plan for you this year?
The plan is to fight maybe 4 times this year, you know. So doing this one already on the beginning of the year, I asked them to be very active. So maybe another 1-3 months from now, and we go from there on.
How's it going, Neiman, right here? Since you're around all the Gracies, it's kind of like a secondary nature for you to be around legends, so it's only right that you're kind of fighting on this legendary card with Fedor, right?
Yes, I said this before. My family members, my uncles, they are like superheroes for me when I was growing up, you know. I remember when I dressed to Halloween, I used to dress on my gi and say that I am Neiman Gracie. So I have Spider-Man eating next to me in the table, like having Hansel and Royce. Actually, if the real Spider-Man was there, I know that Hansel will beat him up. So I have the real heroes next to me, you know. So it's amazing. I fought in cards with Fedor before, and always have been great nights for me. And I know that this night won't be different, fighting with this legend in the same card.
And last one for me. So, you know, a lot of people listen to your advice because, you know, you're one of the best grapplers out there. So for the fighters that's up and coming and they're just trying to prioritize in one specific skill, what would be your advice for them?
Of course, my advice would be to learn other skills, you know, but try not to forget what you're good at. So don't get excited learning something new and stopping to do what you already do well. You know, I think this happened to me before. You knock someone out, you want to knock them out again. It's much easier to knock someone out than to take them down to the ground, hold them, pass their guard, get their back, squeeze their neck. So just don't get excited. Keep doing your bread and butter, and just go look at Khabib. We all know what he's gonna do, and he go there and does it. So I think that's the key. He knows how to box, he knows how to do other things, but he never forget his wrestling.
Neiman right here. So, question for you about the Brazilian fight culture. Lately, we've seen fellow Brazilian fighter Glover Teixeira hang up the gloves. What can you say about the career of Glover and the way that he made his trademark and really had a great career, and also himself being Brazilian? What can you say about the connection, and ultimately if there's anything that you were able to take away from such a great high-level fighter and career?
Yeah, man, it was an amazing fight. He showed amazing heart. Glover was always known in Brazil as being a very tough guy. And back in the day, I remember he had a lot of fights in Brazil, but he couldn't get into America because of his visa. So all the Brazilians were like, man, we gotta get this guy out there, we gotta get this guy out there. When he finally did, we'll see him blowing up. But I think the most beautiful part of his story, it's winning the belt at 40 years old, and losing fights and winning and losing and then getting there. That's what I like to see the most with Glover, with Charles Oliveira, is guys that been through the worst in the sport, they've been knocked out, people don't want to know about them anymore, and then they start winning fights again and they win the belt. So that story of winning, losing and winning again, for me is it's great. It's pretty easy to be the guy that just go out there and wins all the time. You don't have the troubles in your life to overcome. You just go like John Jones. I think if you lose a couple of fights, it would be good for him. So I'm sorry, Jones, but I think you're gonna get in line more. So overcoming bad situations in life, it's the number one thing for me.
Neiman, right here. I guess for you, is it coming into this fight mentally? Is it just solely focused on getting a win on Saturday, or do you still get motivated by title aspirations? Is that something that's still in the back of your mind?
No, the title is always in the back of my mind. Of course, I want to win this fight so bad, But it's not just about winning. I like to win. I don't want to, if you guys watch my fights, you never seen a boring fight. I never did a boring fight. So I care about this. I care about winning, but winning well, So, of course, I want to win, but I want to do a statement. So I think that's the difference in this fight.
I know, obviously, you just kind of joked about John and needing to have a couple losses for you. I guess, what did you learn about yourself? What's the biggest takeaway that you've come out of from these experiences?
Man, it's great. You learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about other people, the way they treat you when you're winning and the way they treat you when you lose, So you get to know a lot about yourself and other people, about life. But most important, of course, is yourself. How do you feel? Man, I know I'm not a loser. I just lost a fight, but why people are treating me this way? People that used to shake my hand are not shaking anymore. And you start seeing things, and you start seeing who's real, who's not. But definitely going back there after having a bad night and trying over again, it shows a lot of heart to do that. I could stay at my house and then have a fight again, and man, hey, I won a lot of fights in the past, But no, man, I know I am one of the best in the world, and I can prove it, and I will prove it, and I'm so grateful to be here again,
What's up, Neiman over here? So we know Royce and Renzo are going to be in the building on Saturday night, but you told me your favorite fighter growing up was your uncle Rickson. Will Rickson be here?
Don't do this.
Will Rickson
I'm
be
gonna get beat up because of him.
Also, I wanted to ask, how much of a role does visualization play in your process in your training camp preparing preparing for this Saturday?
Yeah, man, visualization is something really big and something that I always did, you know. I try to visualize everything, me going to the arena, try to visualize how it's going to be the first belt, everything. It's really important. And the mental preparation for a fight, maybe you guys don't know this, but in my opinion, is the most important. You know, I think it's 80% mental and the rest is physical. So it's really important.
So your last fight was a bit of a stand-up war. The one before that with Logan Storley, it was billed as the battle for ground supremacy. I think you guys spent 2 seconds on the ground combined. Can we expect to see you bring this fight to the mat more, maybe bring it to where you specialize?
Yes, definitely. I work a lot on my wrestling for this fight. I train a lot with Benil Dariush and his coaches, Coach Marcos Mollet people, Jacob Harmon, of course, my coach, Master Rafael Cordeiro, Master Renzo Gracie. So I want to do a lot of grappling on this fight. But hey, my fight with Logan was pretty fun, right? So I think you guys like it. And I care about this, like I said before. And I don't know why you guys don't talk about this fight being one of the best fights of the year in Bellator. I think you guys forgot about it, you know. 5-round war. I almost knocked him out. He almost knocked me out. So, yeah.
Thank you, man.
But it's going to be a grappling fight.
Good luck, man. Thank you.
Neiman over here, I have a question for you. Have you ever sparred, because we know that Rafael trains Mike Tyson, have you ever sparred with Mike Tyson?
Oh, no. I cannot take him down. What the hell am I going to do there? Be a punching bag? No way. I'll go there if I say I can't take him down, you know. Then we have a deal. But if only boxing, then there's no deal. Mike is a bad man. He doesn't know how to go easy on people. I've seen it before. There's no play sparring with him. So, no way.
Thank you.
Neiman, right here. So, of course, we know the fight game is sort of what have you done for me lately, and obviously hasn't been the best results recently, but you have what appears to be a good mental grasp on it all. But the promotion putting you in such a prominent spot despite the losing streak, did that give you an extra boost of confidence coming in here?
No, not really. Bellator has been great for me, and I think I have been great for them too. I've been fighting here for almost 8 years, so we have a pretty good relationship, you know. So it's not like other promotions that people lose a couple fights and they worry about their job. Of course, I worry about my job. Of course, I'm worried that my pay will gonna get lower, but they being really, really good to fighters. If you see the way that Bellator does is different, you know. When they get legends and older fighters, they usually they match them with each other, you know. They don't try to put a young guy to beat up a legend to make the young guy be more recognizable, you know. So I'm really comfortable with Bellator, and I'm really comfortable with my situation. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to talking to all of you.